Alrighty, guys. So today we have a fun little project. I recently designed and printed this chassis for my Jeep, the yellow Jeep you guys are all pretty familiar with on this channel, the one I normally run the tracks on. I just wanted to change it up a little bit, do a 4-link front end, and just try to make a rock bouncer, see if I had the skills to draw that up in CAD, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. So we're going to take this guy outside with a lot of brass on it. You know, we got the brass up front and the brass in the rear, and low center of gravity, 4-link flex, and compare it to the stock JL, you know, fairly stock, a couple tiny little mods, but basic mods. We're gonna take it outside, have some fun, tow it around with the C10 and the gooseneck, and check it out. I hope you enjoy. And alrighty, guys, so here's what I got for you today. We are coming outside because we have a beautiful day here in Northwest Indiana, and we set up a little course here. Start up the ramp, go over the Teeter Totter, crawl up the Board of Doom, over the Tony Hawk skate park set, down the white racking, and say hello to Buddy there. He's our resident good boy for the day. And around and try it out on some rock crawling. Now the reason I set up this course is actually because I built something new this week. You can see there, that is the yellow Jeep from previous videos. I designed and printed a chassis. I was inspired kind of by, you know, Gammy RC and the other guys out there who do it. So I built this rock bouncer chassis to increase articulation and just have some fun with. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this rock bouncer. It's got a stretched 4-link, you know, with the included links in the kit. It's got some brass on the front end of it to weigh it down, brass on the rear, and we're gonna compare that to the stock JL. And the reason I want to do this is because when I got these little trucks, you know, I saw everyone doing all the mods out there, and I didn't really know, you know, what's the performance gain, what's the benefit you can get out of that. So why don't we take a look and see today. Here we go, guys. I'm going to apologize in advance for the wind noise. It is pretty windy today, and I don't have a foam cover on this microphone or anything. So let's take the trucks over to the start, drop them off, give it a shot. Alrighty, we are going to take the Jeep up first today, try it out stock before we go with this pretty heavily modified aftermarket setup. Now the only mods that have been done to this Jeep is just a simple shock relocation, to increase articulation. I'll show you that right here. So if you guys haven't seen that, you just move the shock mounting points from the stock position right there up forward onto the frame. And same with the front, but to the rear. And what that's going to do is it's just going to allow your stock Jeep to increase its articulation. So nice little mod, free little mod, a lot of fun. But let's give it a shot here with the Jeep first. So we are going to try to crawl right up this. Oh yeah, we're having no issues getting up that whatsoever besides my one-handed driving skills. Oh, at the top we're having some struggles there, but get onto the Teeter Totter. Find that tipping point, there it is. And now climb up this terrain board that I just glued some pieces to. This is reset. So back to what I was saying, this is just a simple board that I glued some wooden pieces to, and it's really a lot of fun. You can kind of take it wherever you want to. Really gets the trucks articulating, and you can show them off or play with them and see how different modifications handle. So we're walking up this, spoke too soon, not pretty easy, huh? Thinking, buddy, huh? Thinking the stop G's is gonna make it. And there it is, guys. We have almost made it up. There we go, we're gonna count that. Next up, the bouncer. So here we go. Gonna bring the bouncer up this section. I'd imagine it's gonna have no issues with all of its extra weight here. Oh, at the top though, getting up onto here, we're having a little traction issue. There we go. Drop the Teeter Totter. Now this does have a slightly longer wheelbase than the Jeep as well, because I used the stock links in the kit to 4-link it. But right off the bat, you can see with the increased articulation and the longer wheelbase, it is really just walking right over all these obstacles. Both trucks are running the same tires, the stock JL tires, which seem to be performing great. I want to get some mudslingers, but I think we all know how hard those are to find in the moment. Try to save this here. We might not be able to though. Again, one-handed driving again. And there's a stuck. We're gonna have to reset. Right up and over that section. Keep it crawling, try to get that better throttle control rolling. I've got a future update for this truck that should help with that. Stay tuned, guys. That's gonna be a fun and exciting video. We're gonna do some powertrain changes. All right, climb up over that. See if we can find traction there. And right up and over. Excellent. So where we're at now is with the rock bouncer, it took me 2 tries, and with the stock Jeep, it took me about 8 or 9. And that's really not to say that it's, all the truck's fault. It could be a lot of my fault, but it's definitely more difficult with this stock guy than this weighted down, longer wheelbase rock bouncer. So let's go on to the tech deck technical section. Alrighty guys, so now we're on to this tech deck little technical section. This just really shows the articulation of the trucks and what you're working with. So let's give that a shot here. Again, stock Jeep with the simple mod of moving the suspension back. You can see there we did high center slightly, but we're getting some decent articulation out of this thing, and it does get right up and over. Now let's move on to the rock bouncer. I expect this is going to handle it much better. You can already see the flex there and how well that is just eating up the terrain there. And again, with all that droop and that flex, it really does help. So both trucks have no issues with that section. It's just a nice little show off of the suspension and how much articulation you have. So moving on, let me correct this. This is a new one, so we're gonna give this a shot. Just bring it down here. Might help if I grab the right remote. So that's just a fun little ramp to get down from there. And the bouncer. Sweet. Alrighty guys, now we are going to move on to this rock here, and this looks like the flattest section, so let's start and try to crawl up and over that with the stock JL here and see how it takes it. I can tell it already wants to tip back right there, just with the angle, so this may be done before it can even start. Let's give it a few more tries and maybe see if we can bounce it up onto that. As you can see, guys, it just kind of gets stuck there and it doesn't have enough weight in the front. And one thing I did actually fail to mention is I did just put a little ball of solder, let's see if I can get a good shot of that, on top of that steering servo to just weigh down the front end a little bit extra. You know, you can't really have too much weight in the front end of these things. All right, I don't think it's getting up that without help. Let's give it a shot with the rock bouncer here. Alrighty guys, so here we go with the rock bouncer. Let's see if it can handle this. Already looking more promising as it can keep the front end down, but still having a hard time getting over that initial hump at the bottom. So let's give it a little bump and look at that. It looks like we're getting right up it. Oops, not that time though. There we go. Now let's see if we can crawl down that. Beautiful. Alrighty guys, now that we got it with the bouncer, let's give it a shot with the Jeep again. Not quite. Come on now. I think it can do it. Almost had it there. Oh, we got it, guys. We got it. It did make it up once. Let's just set it here and see how it handles the downslope. Ooh, not quite as well, but I think if you played with it enough, it would do it. So, alrighty, now guys, I want to see if we can go up the steep face, maybe over here. As you can see, the Jeep can keep its front wheels down there, but as soon as you start to grab traction, it kind of just wants to tip. Again, it's really lightweight, really high center of gravity with this body. And here we go with the bouncer. It'll keep the wheels down, but we still might need to bump it. Ooh, a rollback. It's very rare on this thing. Let's try over here on the little different section. Yep, not gonna happen on this side from either of the trucks, at least not with me driving. Actually, we just got that. Alrighty guys, now what we're going to do is a little incline test with the stock Jeep here. And for your viewers' sake here, we're going to just set it on there so you don't got to watch me fumble around with one hand. But this is probably close to 45 degrees, and the stock Jeep will climb up that with really no issues at all. Now if I can back down it, that's another question. So, moving on to the rock bouncer. I don't think this guy is going to have any issues with that as long as I can get up over this first hump. Oh yeah, climbs right up it. Okay, we're going to bump it up a notch. We're definitely north of 45 degrees here now. And let's give it a shot with the Jeep. Oh man, it's really gripping. You can see it's starting to want to lift that front wheel, but we've got plenty of traction there. And again, the rock bouncer, zero issues, right up, no wheel lift yet. Alrighty, we're gonna move it up another notch here. That is getting very steep. I don't know if the Jeep's gonna like that too much, but we're gonna give it a shot. And yes, I mean guys, you can see we are certainly north of 45 degrees here, but the Jeep is gonna struggle. I think if the wind is blowing right and we can get it moving at a slow pace, it's gonna handle it. But if I blip the throttle at all, it's gonna wanna pick up those front wheels there. But it does make it. These things really, in their stock format, are very capable. And now we have the bouncer on the same incline. Ooh, we're having a little issue there to get started. Let's just set it down. See, we're not having any issues with lifting the front with the bouncer, but what I noticed is we're having traction issues probably because it weighs a little less, and it is certainly possible. So let's see. If I hold the throttle nice and slow and we can keep traction down, we will make it up. There we go. Alrighty, bump it up a little bit more. Add another couple degrees here, and I think this may be the limit for the Jeep. Now we are at, I don't know, I'm just guesstimating, but I'm saying 50, 52 degrees probably. Oh, gotta roll over right away. You're really just gonna have to be so light on the throttle here that I don't know if it's gonna be possible, because it just wants to tip right back. Oh, very controlled. I think we could get it if we really spent some time. Oh, actually I scratched that. I don't think that the Jeep is making it up this incline here. Let's try the bouncer. The bouncer is struggling for traction, but we don't have the rollback issue like on the Jeep. So there we go. Ooh, but we slid all the way down. So the limit is about the same for both of them on a soft or on a hard surface here with a decent grip. And for the Jeep, it's actually its high center of gravity that's causing the limit. And for the bouncer, it's its low weight, I guess we could say, and lack of traction. So maybe with some different tires, we could get some better results with the bouncer. But for today, that's what we're looking at. Yep, that's the limit for both of them. Now the only thing left to do is to load up and get them on out of here. Looks like Buddy's ready to go inside too. Alrighty guys, so pardon the mess behind here and all over this countertop. I've been building tracks and well, I'm watching this old dog and he can't really go up or downstairs. So we're hanging out on the main floor today. But here's the rock bouncer. Again, designed and printed the chassis. I'm really happy with it. You know, I think it's a cool little mod. Stock Jeep, gotta love the scale, looks of it and the performance. Honestly, it really came very close to matching this. The only place that this had an advantage was on the technical section on the rock, as well as the articulation section on that board. You guys have all, I'm sure, seen the C10 with the gooseneck and the automatic dropping rear end dovetail. Again, love that. That was a great little project. I love using that for my videos. I think it's a lot of fun. Again, today, guys, I'm shooting this entire video on my new iPhone 12 Pro Max. I really wanted to get that frame rate up to 60 frames a second for you, as well as the 4K quality. So let me run over the mods on this thing here for you real quick too. What we got is this started out life as a JL, just like this one, but the yellow one. I then did the 4-link conversion with the extra links that come stock with the kit, as well as the drive shaft. We're still running stock shocks with nice and soft springs on it. Stock ESC I've got mounted to the roof there. Motor is a barrage motor, stock battery, and a Emax. I believe that's the ES08 MA2 servo. That thing is just great, gobs of power. We've got some brass up front. We have a brass diff cover, brass knuckles, and brass wheel weights, both sides. And on the rear, we just have the brass wheel weights. That's pretty much it for this fun little project. Had a lot of fun learning SolidWorks and how to design the pipe and all that to make the chassis. And my first one here, you can see I didn't really line up the holes properly, so I had to do a little drilling and modifying, but hey, it's a future revision problem. And then this JL, this is actually my friend Jake's. He leaves it here because we always crawl together, but I use this for the example today. This truck is bone stock, except for we have a little clump of solder on the top of that servo there, just to give it a little extra front end weight. And also, we relocated from the stock shock mounting positions there down to here, and from there down to here. And what that does is it just allows it to get some extra articulation in the stock format with the stock links and the front 3-link and all that. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this comparison video. Again, I did put some more tracks up for sale on my store today. We got 6 sets there ready to ship out. So if you didn't get them today, or maybe you see this video a day or two late, you can get them next week. I will be putting up more next week, Saturday. So that's all I got for you guys today. I've been toying around with the idea of selling these trailers as well as selling this chassis. So once I get caught up with the tracks, I will certainly explore that route. That'll be it for today, guys. Thanks for coming by. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed the upgraded quality, and I will be back soon.